wasn't great enough. Just like the Tower of Babel was not a bad thing. If you understand ancient Jewish oral tradition on the Tower of Babel, that was the first attempt at socialism. The king said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make bricks out of everybody. Everybody's going to be the same, and we can build a tower to the sky. God came down. In the Jewish tradition, you read the Bible in Hebrew, there are two gods. There are two sides of God. There's the happy God, the kind, friendly God, and the really angry God. The one that came down to Babel was the happy, kind, loving God, not the angry God. He showed mercy. I've got to stop this, or they will be able to do anything. They will think that they are God. We are so close to thinking we are God. But what happens? So what happens? What happens after a fall? Are we going to be scattered? No. We're not going to be scattered. My faith teaches me the flag will always fly. All right, so how does that work? 10 years ago, we didn't know what the problem was. There are millions of Americans now that have a different mindset. If we would have collapsed 10 years ago, we probably would have built the same thing. We might have even gone a little more progressive because we didn't know what was happening to us. Now we do. God can't collapse us until there's a group of people who says, I got it. I got it. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams wrote letters to each other. 1823, Joe, I think it was. 1821, 1823. They're writing back and forth. And one of them says to the other, we should have put more Deuteronomy in it. We should have put more Deuteronomy in it. Because God's law is the law. That's the one that will work. It's going to collapse. It's going to collapse because we couldn't get it done. The other one writes back and says, yeah, I know. But trust the people. When it does, they will recognize what we were trying to do. And this is a quote. And the people who will restore it will organize themselves in stakes. And they will build it the right way. Stakes solves the gerrymandering. And they knew that. They knew that. We have a perfect opportunity, a God-given opportunity right in front of us. But we have to stop thinking small. You want to solve $17 trillion? Sell the national parks. Do I want to sell the national parks? No. Sell the oil in Alaska. Do I want to go and say, hey, Russia, go ahead, buy parts of Alaska back? No. But if we're not going to use it, then we should sell it because we're in a house that is collapsing all around us. And what are we doing? No, you can't touch that. That's Mom's China. Guys, Mom's China. Don't worry about Mom's China. We're going to live on the street soon. Sell Mom's China. Any responsible individual would say, sell Mom's China. So sell it. We have $165 trillion in assets. We can find $17 trillion if we have to, but only after we fix it and learn our lesson. Am I willing to do that? We have to start thinking big. Stop accepting the 2%. Stop fighting over the crumbs on the table. Start having faith that God's got it under control. Somebody said to me last night, I was sitting with him, and he said to me, what do you see coming? And I said, oh, don't ask that question. He said, before you tell me, I want you to know something. Don't you dare get bleak. And I said, then why did you ask that question? He said, I want you to have faith in God. I said, I do. And he said, well, if you do, Tell me about the Jewish people in 1943. And I said, well, the Jewish people in 1943 had to think that it was over. That there probably wouldn't be a Jew left on the planet. Look at the world of 1943. And if I went to a Jewish person in 1943 and said, don't worry, in 5 years you're going to have your own state. Israel's going to be restored in the Holy Land in 5 years. I'd be deemed a madman. But that's God's plan, not man's. That's God's plan. Sometimes it has to collapse so God can reset it. Now the question is, are we the people that are going to be ready to help each other, to reset it? Are we prepared? Our grandparents went through the Great Depression. Can you imagine this society in the Great Depression now? The whining alone would drive you out of your mind. Are we the people to do it? I think there are millions of people that are and millions more that are not. We started Mercury One because I believe there's only a few things that can truly save us. The freedom of the entrepreneurial spirit, the freedom to create. That's what has always saved us. 75% of all jobs in an economic downturn are always created by the small businessman. 5 years ago,